Hey everybody, yay! I'm live. Welcome, welcome, welcome. I'm gonna do a little, we're gonna dance you in. Here we go. I am Abbie Gellman. You can find me over at Chef Abbie Gellman. I am a registered dietitian and a chef, that's right, which means that we make food delicious and nutritious. What's up? Yay! So today I'm here, obviously on the Designer Protein channel, so we're going to talk about designer protein. Let's get right into it. Everyone, welcome as you come. Please give me a thumbs up if you love designer protein and you want to learn about not only how to use it in a smoothie, but how to cook with it and do all sorts of fun stuff to really bulk up our protein intake. So, once again, Chef Abbie Gellman, nutritious and delicious. So let's get into it. Today we're going to talk about their basic product. They do have 100% plant-based and 100% egg-based protein powders as well, but today we're going to focus on the whey protein. So we have the Designer Whey, which is 100% whey. It has 20 grams of protein, 2 grams of added sugar, but it's really in the form of like a monk fruit, and then 110 calories per serving. There are many, many different flavors, so today we're going to use the unflavored and the strawberry version, but sky's the limit here. There's chocolate, there's vanilla, there's all sorts of other really good flavors. Coconut, all good stuff. Then, if you are looking for a lighter version of the product, there is this Designer Light, which has half the protein, so 10 grams, but it also has about half the calories at 60, and there's no added sugar, so there's less than 1 gram of sugar in there. And they've got fun, funky flavors that are super delicious over there too, like this cookies and cream, chocolate cookies and cream. But let's talk a little bit about what we're going to do today and why I love using this designer protein. So not only does it have that whey protein that we want, and that's the whole reason we're using the protein powder, right? But this also has other things in it. So it has a digestive blend, which helps prebiotics, probiotics, really with gut health. So we all need to keep our guts happy. It's our second brain. So it's got that in there. It also has some things for bone health. So magnesium and calcium and vitamin D and iron and zinc. These are all things that are super important for bone health. So we've got a special blend of that in here too. And something that I've never seen in another protein powder, it has some electrolytes in there too. So if we use this after a workout, we're getting an extra boost of those electrolytes that we may have lost when we just went and ran in 95-degree weather, you know, a 5K. So I love my designer protein. Now, first, my oven's ready. We're gonna make some muffins, so that's coming up. So first I'm gonna make a smoothie. Welcome, give me a high five if you're entering now. Welcome to our live. We're doing designer protein. We're gonna do just a basic smoothie first before we do any cooking. So I have my blender here. I'm gonna use almond milk. You can also use cow's milk, oat milk, soy milk, whatever you like. You could also use kefir in here. We're going to bump it up already with a little bit of yogurt. So if you're going to do something like kefir, then I would just do 100% kefir instead of the yogurt almond milk combo. And then, of course, this is our strawberry designer protein. And I decided I wanted some mango. So I've got some frozen strawberries and some frozen mango. That is all going in there. Now, I'm going to talk about this a little bit. So obviously we're getting protein from the protein powder. We're getting a bump of protein also from the yogurt and calcium and all of these great things too. Probiotics. We've got vitamin C, antioxidants, all sorts of great things coming from the mango and the strawberries. Other ways to kind of zhuzh this up a little bit and make it your own. You could put some cocoa powder in there, right? Super delicious. You could put a little maple syrup in there or a touch of honey to make it a little sweeter. You could put some coconut in here. That would be delicious. And you could also put in some greens. You could put in frozen spinach. You could put in some baby kale. But all of those things will really punch it up, you know, as a meal replacement or a recovery snack after a workout. All of these things are great. So let's zip it up, right? And, okay, look at this. We're going to pour it out. So you might be someone who likes a thicker shake, thicker smoothie. This is the consistency that I enjoy, which is kind of like the right amount of frostiness for me. But you can make it thinner, you can make it thicker. Again, you play with the amount of frozen fruit that you put in there, the amount of the almond milk, if you want to change it up a little bit. But let's taste it. What do you think? That's super delicious. All right, I'm going to put this over here and save it for later. And let's talk about the next thing. Do we have any questions coming in? Feel free to ask questions as we go also. As we talk about, I'll lean in for this one before we start muffins. I feel like there's a question.
No specific questions yet, but we have lots of people that love cookies and cream and
yes.
mangoes.
Yes.
I think the smoothie looks delicious.
Thank you. Well, actually, that made me just think right there. What if you used that cookies and cream protein powder with the mango? Oh my God, that would be like super delicious, right? I love that. So we're going to do something fun next. So I'm going to move my next set of ingredients over for everyone to see. We're going to make pumpkin protein muffins. I'm going to put some chocolate chips in there for good measure because, right, like wonderful, delicious. I love chocolate chips. You can keep those out if you want, but I'm going to put them in. So the first thing we're going to talk about a little bit here, I'll move it to the front so everyone can see. When you're making something like a muffin, we want to keep the dry ingredients separate from the wet ingredients. So this bowl has all our dry ingredients in here. On the bottom, we've got almond flour. So we're doing a gluten-free version of our muffin today. That almond flour is obviously gluten-free, and it is made from almonds. So you're getting extra protein and healthy fats in there, vitamin E, all sorts of wonderful benefits from that almond flour. It is also a little bit denser than if you were making something with like a whole wheat flour or an all-purpose flour. So just keep that in mind. These will be very protein rich, delicious, but a little bit denser than another muffin that you may have had before. Then we've got a few scoops here, 3 scoops of the unflavored protein powder, the Designer protein. Then I've got salt, baking soda, and baking powder, and we're doing pumpkin, so I've got some pumpkin spice in here too. So I'm just gonna carefully mix all of this together. So you really want to make sure your dry ingredients are incorporated together well, so that when you move everything over and combine kind of the wet and the dry, that you're not having like clumps of flour or clumps of baking soda or salt anywhere. How does that sound so far? Is everyone excited about our pumpkin muffins?
So excited.
So excited.
Also, we have a question.
Yes, question.
The question is milk the same as whey?
So the question was, is milk the same as whey? So whey is a part of milk. So when you're making whey protein powder, it's that whey that is separated from the liquid cow's milk. So then you kind of take this portion of the milk that is really the protein. So kind of like if you ever made cheese or heard of the separating your curds and whey. What was that nursery rhyme that I can't remember right now? But someone was eating her curds and whey. So the curds and the whey are what you separate when you make cheese. So that whey is the protein, and it gets split out, and then it gets manufactured. Well, it's kind of a more bigger process than just manufacturing it, but that whey from the cow's milk becomes the whey that we're putting into our smoothies and our muffins. Hopefully that helped. Yeah. Any other questions so far? All right, I'm going to move over here. So we've kind of mixed that all together well. Now here we've got our pumpkin. So I just used some canned pumpkin. I'm going to put in some yogurt. This is plain Greek yogurt. You can use plain regular yogurt or kefir as well. But this is all, you know, the pumpkin gives you vitamin A, vitamin C, that beta carotene that we all know the orange is good for your eyes, right? So that's going to be perfect in here. And then that mix, look how beautiful that color is. It's like a nice light orange. And that yogurt, again, adds calcium and probiotics and more protein and all that good stuff. And then we're going to get even more protein in here, you guys, and we're going to put 2 eggs right in there. Now, I always like to put my eggs on the side of my bowl here, but I have a friend who always gets shell when she does that, so she bangs her eggs on the table in order to break them. So both methods work beautifully, whatever works for you. Now I'm just going to kind of whisk this all together. I am using the spatula to do it, and that means I have to move it pretty vigorously, but you can also use an actual whisk or a fork, works great too. I just want to make sure everything gets mixed together really well here. Okay. And then next, we take our dry and they go into our wet. So also you may be saying, Abby, there's no sugar in there. Where's the sugar? Don't you have to put sugar in your muffins? No, you don't. You absolutely do not. These are going to be plenty sweet because remember in that protein powder from Designer Protein, it's a very small amount of sugar, but it's about 2 grams of sugar per scoop. So we put 3 scoops of that. So this, we're going to make 12 muffins. So let's do a little kitchen math. I like kitchen math. How do you feel about kitchen math? So we put 6 grams of added sugar in here, and there are 12 muffins, which means, anyone? Tell me, yes. Half a gram of sugar in each muffin, that's right. And then we are using those chocolate chips. So we'll get a nice bit of sweetness from those chocolate chips. Another way to get some sweetness without, if let's say we don't want the chocolate chips, you can put dried fruit in here, like some dried cranberries. Oh, that would be good actually. I just said it out loud. I was like, maybe we should put dried cranberries in here. We got pumpkin, dried cranberries. You could put dried cherries in here, dried blueberries in here, raisins. Like that is a nice way to add sweetness without adding added sugar, right? So I've integrated this all together well. One other tip, so you may have heard that when you're making muffins or cake or things like that, you don't want to overmix it. That is because generally you're using wheat flour or all-purpose flour, which is made from wheat. And the more you stir it, it'll form gluten and it makes it tough. But when we're making muffins, we want to be careful not to over stir it, right? Except for today, because we're using almond flour and it's gluten-free. What? So if you want to over stir it, you can. It's not going to make it tough at all. So that is our fun fact for today. And then we're going to add in chocolate chips like this. Here we go. Also, did I mention that this is that not only is it gluten-free because of the almond flour, but also Designer Protein is gluten-free. So in case that's an issue, we have that going. All right, so now let's scoop our muffins. I have the oven at 350, and I have a 1/3 cup scoop here, and that is what is going to go over here in our muffin tins. Do we have any other questions while I'm doing a little scooping? I can dance and scoop if people want that, but
No questions. Just hard eyes, thumbs up, lots of
yes. All right. Do people want the dancing?
Yes, they do.
This is. I'm not a great dancer, but I will try really hard. I will do it for the fans. I will try really hard. So, all right, let's see what other fun facts I can think of as we go through here. What are some other good ideas? I'm really thinking about like that coconut idea with maybe some mango, or that chocolate. You could maybe do something that tastes like a fudge cake with strawberry. Oh, a little fruit, raspberry or strawberry with some chocolate. That would be good. You could have a different day of the year probably and you'd never have a repeat with all their flavors and all the different possible combinations that you could have, right? All right, let's top a couple of these off. Yes, is there a question?
Two questions. The first one is, how much does shipping cost?
Ooh, so someone's asking how much shipping is cost, and I'm sorry I don't know that off the top of my head. But if you go to designerprotein.com, all of the info is there for you, the pricing of all the powders, and you can see all the wonderful types that are available. And then another question.
The question is, can I use Designer Whey if I'm lactose intolerant?
That is a great question. So someone is asking about lactose intolerance. So generally, when you're processing the whey, it removes the lactose. This product is 93% lactose free. So it will depend on your level of lactose tolerance. So other things like hard cheeses are also lactose free. So if you're able to eat a hard cheese, for example, you should probably be able to have this. But again, 93%. So kind of maybe figure out what your tolerance level is, and you can test it out or talk to your doctor and see how that goes. But, you know, there's only a little tiny bit.
Yeah. Also, just to clarify, my mistake, she meant how much does shipping cost for those muffins you're making?
Oh! A lot of money. If I ship personal, then I also require other things. All right, let's put these in the oven for 20 minutes. So let's set it here. All right, so 20 minutes, so should be good, but you know, it's the magic of television. So we've already made a batch ahead, and we have them here for you. Let's see, I'm gonna hold a couple up so you can see how nice they look. Can you see? Yay! So let's open one too. So as I said before, they're a little bit denser. You can kind of feel it, but they'll still taste, you know, nice and light. So here's the inside, right? Nice. And then let's try. They're good. They're good. I'll have a sip of the smoothie to round it out. And a sip of water. All right. So that I can talk to you without my mouth full. All right, so muffins, 20 minutes, super delicious. They will stay in an airtight container for about 5 days. You might want to keep them in the fridge because they do have the egg and the almond and the protein powder. There's a lot in there. So they will probably taste a little bit fresher for longer if you keep them in the fridge. You can also freeze them in an airtight container or in a resealable bag. Just put them in there. You can take them out one at a time and let them thaw on the counter or in the fridge, and then you can just have them whenever you want, right? Or if you do freeze them, you can also heat them up in the toaster. Oh, that might be good because then the chocolate will get melty and delicious in the inside. So those are your options. But any other questions before we wrap it up? All right, once again, I'm Chef Abbie Gellman. You can find me over at Chef Abbie Gellman. I'm a registered dietitian and a chef. Today we made a bunch of nutritious and delicious things with our Designer Protein, Designer Whey. If you have questions, feel free to drop them in the post when we have it up here. And you can watch all of our stuff. Head to designerprotein.com and buy some. Really, that's it. All right, bye.